Are we live? I think we're live. I think we're live. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to HBCU Con's Super Slay Fashion show. This is Fashion Week. I'm Tranquil Ashes. I'll be your host this evening. We will be getting into 6 designers, and I'm going to introduce one each, and then you'll get to see their collection. And then after that, we'll get to have an open panel where we discuss fashion and how they find themselves in the community. So let's pull up the first one. Okay. First off, we have Tony Ray. Tony Ray is a New York designer, creative, and visionary with 14 years of experience sewing inspired work with activism, sci-fi fantasy, and Afrofuturism. He is best known for bringing unique versions of Marvel's comics, Black Panther, Milestone Comics, Static Shock, SPD Red Ranger, and DC's Comics Aqualad. Tony has been a featured presenter and speaks at Gizmo, PBS First Person, San Diego Comic-Con, and NYCC, New York City Comic-Con, one of my favorites, and many other institutions. Tony designs garments for himself, produces the T-Ray Apparel t-shirt line, and also takes commissions. So let's see his work.
So I made this shirt out of some kente pattern that I had. It's asymmetrical with a Mandarin collar. I used snaps to close it, and I added some black satin trim on the sleeves and at the bottom. It's a fun little anytime shirt in my opinion. Like, you can go out to an event with it, dress it up with a blazer, maybe you just want to go to the park. It's airy, it's light, it's made out of cotton. I like it.
That was Tony Ray. Next, we have Cree Michelle Rogers. Cree Michelle Rogers, aka Brown Sugar Outlaw, is a cosplaying actress and reporter for the comicbookresources.com, who has built her platform on the idea of inclusion and collaboration. She is an award-winning cosplayer who, alongside her amazing cosplay team, the Unusual Rangers 5, has managed to be on the cover of the Washington Post magazine, as well as featured in Time magazine. With the content that she creates, her goal is to provide representation for young nerds of color to embrace themselves and not feel as though they had a box around them. Let's see her work.
Krakoa, the island of mutants. What up and welcome, my name is Cree Michelle, aka Brown Sugar Outlaw, and today I'll be showing you how I made my Storm Hellfire Gala cosplay. Starting from the head and working our way down, I'll begin by talking about the wig. This wig was a process, oh my gosh. I actually had plans for another wig that was much longer, but it didn't pan out the way I had hoped. So I ended up reusing an old Storm wig that I used in several different cosplays, of course being Storm, Mirko, and a few other fan arts. This wig was curled and then teased the next morning to give it some extra body. I was a little worried until I put it on and realized it was perfect. Moving on, we're going to start talking about the jewelry. For the necklaces and the bracelets, those were bought from Amazon and like 5 different rainbow stores for the amount of bracelets I needed for this costume. As since I thought I had enough, I was absolutely incorrect. But the shoulder pads and the chest piece were actually made from craft foam. It's a simple process of using gold fabric to cover craft foam once you cut it out to the correct shape. To get the look that I saw on the initial reveal picture, as well as the comic book cover that was released a few days later, I did a mix of regular gold fabric that I've been obsessed with and gold sequin fabric. The same process was used for the earrings as well. Next, we'll move on to the bodysuit. I sewed this myself, and the pattern I used was made from the duct tape and saran wrap method. I ended up having to wrap and cut myself out, which was, of course, fun. I used this method because I wanted to make sure that the gold pieces on the hips were done just right, and I'm very happy with the way it came out. Moving right along, we'll start talking about the unnecessarily fabulous thigh-high boots that Storm is rocking in this outfit. To make them, I used the boots from my old Nakia cosplay from Black Panther. They were the perfect size, but I had to extend them a little bit to get the point at the front of the shoe. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm obsessed with this fabric. The sheen of it was just very high fashion, high couture. The look I was going for with this costume, and I was very excited to use that fabric for not only the bodysuit, but for the boots. The gold pieces at the bottom of the shoes were done the exact same way as the chest piece and shoulder pads. Simple craft foam wrapped in gold fabric and then hot glued to the shoe. The cape was my absolute favorite part of this outfit. Not only is it a nice accent, but of course Storm would use her powers to create a cloud cape. I mean, that is just unnecessarily fabulous, and I had so many ideas of how I wanted to recreate this look. I ended up settling on the same process that people use when they're making clouds for their bedrooms or their ceilings. I took some lanterns, some of them weren't black, so I had to spray paint them. I hot glued them together, used a couple wires to keep them there. Then I wrapped a long string of fairy lights all around them. I then went to town wrapping the tulle all around the lanterns and encasing the lights. Alright, that's enough of me babbling. Without further ado, please enjoy the full view of the costume.
Oh man, I'm living. I am living for that. Okay, so moving right along, we have Delta Major Designs. Delta Major Designs was passionately created by artist and fashion designer Delta Major. Born in Harlem and raised in the birthplace of hip hop, Delta pulls inspiration from her upbringing as well as her journey to connect with her heritage and ancestral roots. Her artistry combines New York street style with traditional African influences, resulting in an Afrofuturistic approach to wearable art. As a Black queer femme, Delta Major wants to empower her communities and wears to not only challenge but break down the stereotypes and norms of the stifling beauty industry. Sorry. She has expression and experiences to promote marginalized groups. She designs for all body types and all genders because she believes fashion should be inclusive and intersectional. Delta Major Designs will make you feel bold and confident. When in doubt, be major. Let's see your work.
Delta Major Designs. When in doubt, be major. The inspiration for my designs is an Afrofuturistic take on the Avatar The Last Airbender and Avatar The Legend of Korra universe. I assigned each element a specific region or nation in Africa and based my design on that region's people and traditional clothing. Water tribes. Nation region, Rwanda. People, Hutu and Tutsi. For my water tribe inspired fashion, I chose the color and silhouette of the Hutu and Tutsi people of Rwanda. Rwanda borders Lake Kivu and has many other small bodies of water around and in its land. Afrofuturistic water tribe. I used a combination of poplin, wax print, and spandex to create this look. Oh, and neoprene. And most of these fabrics came from Moon Fabrics, and there are some scraps in there as well. This look took 12 hours to create. I made the pattern myself. I laid each pattern out on the fabric and only cut out one side of each color to create this two-tone look. I cut out side panels of the aqua spandex, and I cut out strips of the burnt orange and a rectangle of the black neoprene to create the bralette and the sleevelet. And then I cut out blue circles and brown circles from scraps of the wax print that I had left over to create this bralette and to add accents to the sleevelet. Once I was done cutting out the patterns, I pinned everything and I sewed it all together. Once that was done, I used my overlock machine to seal my edges and give it a finishing touch so everything doesn't fray. I turned over those edges, I sewed everything down for a clean edge, and then I added an elastic waistband to the pants to complete my look. Earth Kingdom. Nation, region, Ethiopia, Djibouti, and Ghana. People, Afar, and Akan. For my Earth Kingdom inspired fashion, I chose the silhouettes of the Afar people of Ethiopia and Djibouti. My color and fabric choice reminded me of the Adinkra fabric symbols of Ghana. Ethiopia and Djibouti's terrain is mountainous, desertous, and volcanic. The Adinkra symbols from the Akan people of Ghana are both decorative and functional, as they encapsulate messages of traditional wisdom. Fabric used for this is an Adinkra-esque poly cotton, and it was donated to me. It took 4 hours to make, and I used a modified version of the Quick Sew K3052 pattern, which is a unitard pattern, to make this look. I placed the fabric on a fold and I laid the pattern on top and I traced it and then I widened it to get the baggy, loose-fitting silhouette. I elongated the armholes and I expanded the neckline to get the look that you also see. And I cut out my pattern. I pinned everything together and I sewed it. It only has a middle seam from front to back and in between the legs. So on the sides, there's no seam. I cut out 2 squares for pockets and a rectangle folded in half to make the headband. I left the raw edges from the serger exposed to add more visual interest and frayed the bottom of the pants. This is the Afrofuturistic Earth Kingdom. Fire Nation. Nation region, Nigeria. People, Yoruba. For my Fire Nation inspired fashion, I chose the color of flames and silhouette of the Yoruba people of Nigeria. Gele are Yoruba traditional head wraps of intricately folded fabric. Irobuba are the traditional skirt and blouse combo. And Ashaoke are the traditional top fabric that is draped over the shoulder. The fabric used is Ankara fabric, and my source was Goodwill. It was a Ankara mermaid skirt in the size large. This look took 4 hours to create. For this look, I did an upcycle of a mermaid skirt into this look that you see. Upcycling is the process of taking thrifted, unwanted, or outgrown clothing and turning it into something new and giving it new life. For this look, I used the circles part of the mermaid skirt, so the mermaid-esque part, to make the circle skirt with a zipper back closure. I used the upper portion of the mermaid skirt to create this V-neck and V-back bodice. And I added a strip of the Ankara fabric down the middle of this fascinator and added some extra fabrics to give it that folded fabric gele look. And this is the Afrofuturistic Fire Nation. Air Temples Nomads. Nation, region, Sudan, Uganda, Kenya. People, Nilotes. Maasai, Dinka, Bantu, Nuer. For my Air Temple inspired fashion, I chose the colors of the Air Nomads robes and the silhouette of the Nilotic people of the Nile Valley. The Nilotic people are some of the tallest and thinnest in the world. Many of these groups use staffs and jump very high. The fabrics used here are peachy salmon, sheer knit striped fabric, a salmon poly blend, and a peach and white applique. I also use a 0.5-inch wide elastic band, copper coin pendants, and white armature wire. This look took 2 hours to create. This look was created by the process of draping, in which I placed the fabric in many ways, many times on a dress form until I was happy with the look that came out. Once I was happy with the silhouette that was created on the dress form, I pinned everything together and I sewed it to create this look. I added a elastic waistband to the side skirt. I added the appliques to the shoulder as epaulettes and as wrist cuffs, which are also bound with elastic. I then sewed the copper coins into the elastic and looped it through one of the appliques, and then added armature wire to create the headdress. And this is the Afrofuturistic Air Temple Nomads. Here's the math my brain did to create the Afrofuturistic Water Tribe design. The algebra my brain did to create the Afrofuturistic Earth Kingdom design. The calculations my brain made to create the Afrofuturistic Fire Nation design. And the equation my brain came up with to create the Afrofuturistic Air Temple Nomad design. Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four... I'm not going to do that to y'all, but these are my elements and designs in Afrofuturistic style of the Avatar universe. Delta Major Designs. When in doubt, be major. Coming soon, deltamajordesigns.com. Delta Major.
Well, I feel like I've always learned something whenever I see Delta Majors work. Moving right along, oh my goodness, I'm just so excited for everyone's looks. We have Kia Sangria. Originally from Queens, New York, now residing in the Bronx, Kia Sangria is a cosplay and fashion designer and seamstress who incorporates her unique taste in both her costumes and everyday fashion. Her mission is to bridge the gap between cosplayers and seamstresses, has led to her being an internationally published designer. Let's see her work.
So I'm starting off by ironing my pattern pieces. I decided that for this piece, I was going to do a corset top and a corset skirt. And the fabric that I chose for this project was a red Ankara fabric. I decided to create Scarlet Witch with this. I saw the red and was just so attracted to it, but I really wanted to respect the fabric, so I let the fabric guide me when it came to how it wanted to be and what the finished look was. I think this fabric is absolutely beautiful, and it was so fun getting to create something with it. The design of the fabric is really different for me. I've never worked with a fabric like this before. It was my first time trying to make something out of this fabric, and it was a very interesting experience to say the least. So here I'm just cutting out my corset top pattern pieces, and then I will proceed to work on this part of the costume first. I'm just ironing on some interfacing. Interfacing helps maintain the structure of the piece, and since this is a bodice for a top, having that interfacing was integral to keeping the shape. So what you see that I'm working on here is actually the lining for it. It just keeps the like fashion layer fabric intact, so that's why I decided to interface the lining instead of the actual fabric that will be shown on the inside. But having the lining with the interfacing again just adds to that structure. So to sew this garment, I decided to use my Brother Project Runway sewing machine, specifically the model that is CE7070PRW. This is my baby. It is my favorite machine. It is a workhorse too. So it's gotten me through so many projects. And so I decided for a fabric this pretty that I was going to use my Old Faithful machine. So here is the corset top and the lining together. I'm just going to go ahead and attach these two pieces together. Taking out my pins as I go, so I don't want to damage the machine or my pins or the garment. And I'm just taking my time attaching this together. You can't rush greatness. And for me, this is basically like Scarlet Witch meets Wakanda. That's what I started thinking a lot about the LaShonda and the Vishon memes from the internet since WandaVision ended. So that's another thing that inspired this costume. So to finish off the skirt for this costume, I'm just casually installing some grommets using a grommet puncher. Alternatively, you can use a hammer, but I find that this way is a lot easier and a lot less loud.
Okay, well, awesome. I mean, WandaVision was a great show, so that's an amazing, amazing inspiration. And we're moving on to our next designer. We have Janine Groslin. And she is a woman blessed with many skills. She gets asked about her work a lot, and she wanted to share some of her projects with us today. Let's see her work. Wow, okay, that is amazing. I love all the fabric choices. They were gorgeous. And finally, last but absolutely not least, we have Wendell Smith Sr. Wendell, well, Scorpion King Costuming is a costume and clothing maker who got back into it sewing when he started cosplaying in 2009. He worked with various materials and textures, including incorporating leather, foams, and other type of materials in his designs. Sewing and making things allows him to unleash his creative side, and it serves as a stress reliever. Creating designing is something that keeps the Scorp King busy and carefree. Let's see his work.
The designs I chose to work with were all based on Asian countries. We traveled from India to China, then Korea and Japan. Each design is particular to that country, presented with an African flair through the choice of fabrics and, in some cases, symbology. Join me on this trip through Asia. The first two pieces you will see are based on two Hindu suit designs I came across. The fabrics are African wax cotton cloths with gold inlaid on the one. Both designs took me about 8 hours to complete. The first suit exhibits an exposed 8-button closure design. I changed it to a hidden closure design on both the coat and the pants. I used an alternating pattern of gold and silver colored buttons. The coat has 8 buttons and the pants has 6 buttons in all. The second suit, I altered the design just a bit because I didn't want to duplicate the design from the other coat. So the coat has equal length front panels. The coat exhibits a pattern overlay and has a single button closure. The sleeves of the coat have the same fabric used for the overlay pattern with purple wrist banding. The pants copy the overlay and utilize a 4-button hidden closure design instead of a zipper. For the buttons, I used a dark gold colored button. This next piece is based on a Chinese design which intrigued me while watching a show on Netflix called Handsome Siblings. This design is worn by royalty on the show. Beautiful, flowing, and functional as the wearers of these garments perform a high level of martial arts. My rendition of this design adds an African twist to it via the fabrics and symbology chosen to be used to build the design out. This 6-piece design took me about 4 days to pull together from start to finish. Maybe 20 hours total have been devoted to creating what you see before you. The symbols used are drinking symbols from West Africa. The robe and gauntlets are both adorned with the symbols described above. Their meaning and purpose are shown below. The saying is the definition of the character of the people represent this symbology. The fabrics used were purchased at Joann's Fabrics and African Eleganza in Brandywine and Laurel, Maryland, respectively. Words of fortitude, humility, and strength, whom exude greatness and embrace leadership, while remaining adaptable, resourceful, and prepared for any transgression against them. We are a vigilant and courageous society, a wary people of endurance and valor. From China, we move southeast toward Korea. This design comes from watching Kingdom, another show on Netflix. This design is worn by the royalty in the show. Beautiful, flowing, comfortable, and functional, the wearers of these garments perform a high level of martial arts. This design's African twist comes via the purple and white heavily embossed fabrics. This 4-piece design took me a day to pull together from start to finish, maybe 5 to 6 hours total. The fabrics used were purchased from Joann's Fabric and African Eleganza in Brandywine and Laurel, Maryland, respectively. Continuing to move southeast, we cross the waters and land in Japan. This design is actually a take on another fusion. Two designers came together and created a Eurasian combination of the Japanese kimono and the European suit. Their designs are sold in England today. My take incorporates African mud cloth. This 5-piece design took me 2 to 3 days to pull together because I was having too much fun with it. It took maybe 15 to 20 hours to complete. The fabrics used were purchased from Joann's Fabric and African Eleganza in Brandywine and Laurel, Maryland, respectively. The messaging bag has 2 interior pockets near the top to hold your phone, wallet, or whatever you need for that particular time of use. These designs are by Wendell Smith of Scorp King Costuming. Where you can find me on FB, I am Scorp King _costuming. On IG, I have 2 accounts, so I am IGSMU for Big Smooth, and also Scorp King Costuming. Lastly, Scorp King Costuming presents Afro Asia.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm blown away from everybody's hard work. But no one wants to see just me anymore. Let's go ahead and bring our designers in. Look at all these beautiful people. Oh, goodness, goodness. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at the HBCU Con Super Slay Fashion Show. I hope you all are having a really, really great evening. Now, granted, I've already said a little blurb about you, but I want you to tell us a little bit more about yourself and, how you got into doing fashion, costuming, cosplay. And tell me, what was that like quintessential movie or piece of work or fashion that made you want to get into this? And we'll go ahead and start off with Tony Ray.
Hi, everybody. You got my quick blurb. I think what got me into fashion was first, I just like Mandarin collars on just about everything. So that then just made me have to figure out how to make Mandarin collars. And then juxtaposed with the Afrofuturism of Black Panther and my love of Star Trek already, it was easy to incorporate the two because a lot of the clothes in Star Trek, especially worn by Vulcans, my favorite aliens, all had Mandarin collars. So it's just adapting what I wanted to see my clothes to look like now.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's see who's next. Okay, Delta, what about you?
My work is a lot inspired by just making wearable art pieces for myself and everyone. So those pieces I had already created because I was already working on the show and didn't have much time to create a fully new piece. And when I put them all together, I'm like, oh wait, these kind of look like the Avatar nations. So as I explain all the math and calculations my brain did to create those, like put those looks in that world, and like doing the research and understanding the various tribes and peoples of Africa and pulling from my Afrofuturistic design brain, I just created that and I was pretty happy with it. And I feel like they kind of could fit if Avatar was in an Afrofuturistic setting.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Okay. And let's see. How about Kia?
For my design, I was heavily inspired by WandaVision. I was up on Friday nights making sure I caught every episode, every time that it dropped. And I absolutely loved the way that Black Twitter went wild with the whole like Lawanda and Vishon memes. So getting to be a part of this showcase, this was the very first time that I have ever worked with Ankara fabric. I've always wanted to work with it, but I was too intimidated to do it. And so this was like my excuse to go ahead and work with it. It was quite an experience for me. I really wanted to be respectful to the fabric. So when it came to the design, I kind of looked at the pattern and let it guide me to turn it into the piece that you guys got to see for the showcase. 10 out of 10 would probably work with the fabric again because it's very fun. And I can definitely see myself wearing this costume to cons, like once it's safe to do so again.
Amazing. Thank you so much. What about you, Gina?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My dog might bark in the middle of this, but I didn't make anything new. I just used African-inspired outfits that I created before, or costumes. A lot of it came from either a material that I found or a actual event that was coming up or a client's actual design that they wanted. And most of the time when the client wants something and I start making it, I come with new designs for myself. So it's good to have that clientele to come to you for original designs and branch off from that. So that was my inspiration. I mean, a lot of it comes from, I guess, not say movies, but from other people or other fabrics or things I see in magazines.
Okay, awesome. And last but not least, of course, Wendell.
What inspired me to do these things? Watching a lot of Netflix. Because well, at least the Chinese costume is that show was like 70 episodes. and they were like anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half each. So yeah, like I said, a lot of Netflix. Same thing with Kingdom. Kingdom was 7 or 8 episodes, I think. No, yeah, about 5 to 7 episodes a season. But even still, they were great. And then everything else, especially the Indian designs. Facebook has this bad habit of showing me stuff, and some of the stuff I like, some of the stuff I don't like. So those two suits I kind of liked, and we had just started talking about doing a fashion show, for HBCU Con. And since I'm the vice president, I'm like, well, hell, I may as well grab those and grab some other, designs too, and make it happen. And then finally, I'm the type of person, if I see something that I really like, or somebody shows something to me that I wind up really liking, I turn around and make it, which can cause me problems at times because I wind up buying a lot of fabric and making a lot of stuff.
I mean, I I wish I had the connection to all of the wonderful um fabric places, because I just got Joann's and Michael's, and that doesn't really, that's not the pinnacle of fabric, at least around here. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But we can definitely move on to the next question. It's a little bit more of a deeper question, a little bit more, getting into the nitty gritty. In your own words, describe fashion. And after that, it's a two-parter. Describe fashion, and what was your first experience putting your fashion out there to the world? And we'll mix up the order this time. Let's go ahead and start with Kia.
Oh my gosh, I got
What did you No worries. We can bring it all the way back. It is totally okay. So
what was the question?
It's a two-parter. First part is describe what is fashion. And second, tell me about your first experience putting out your fashion or your cosplay into the world.
Ooh, okay. First question, what is fashion? Fashion is whatever it is that you want it to be. I've adopted this mindset recently because of my muggle job. I work in fashion, specifically denim textile. And one of the things that we talk about is people having the freedom when it comes to their fashion choice. I think fashion is whatever you say that it is, because fashion is something that's relative to all of us. And for all of us, it means different things. It looks different, which is the beauty of it. Now, when it comes to me putting out my cosplay and fashion into the world, I don't think twice about it. What you see is what you get. So what I made, that's what you get. And it's for me to enjoy. When it comes to cosplay and fashion, especially, I create for myself first. For me, it's not about content. It's not about doing what's popular or anything like that. It's for me. If you like it, you share it, you love it, that's a bonus. But I create for myself first. And so when it comes to posting my costumes and posting my fashion pieces, before the picture even goes up, I'm already in love with it because I did it for me first.
That is amazing. And let me tell you, I don't know if you guys follow Kia, but the production rate, just throwing out the costume. Mm-hmm. I was just like, whoa. Let me like the last one before I move to the next. It's amazing. Just share your energy, girl. Share the energy. Okay, let's see. Tony, give us your answer.
I'm gonna agree with Kia. I'm going to hop on that train and literally just say it's whatever you decide to step out your door. What you put on the internet, how you step out your door, what you present to the world, that is fashion. Many may not agree with it, some will love it. I mean, but as long as you are truly happy with it, that is the core of it at its base. My first time with fashion. I think the first time probably would be when I was old enough to just buy suits for myself. So I was that young person. I was like, ooh, I like a nice suit. So in my head, I totally missed the Harlem Renaissance and like the Dapper Dandies and everything of that sort. I was like, oh my God, I love this so much. And I think the first time like I really put it out to the world was when I just started making t-shirts about like things that would pop into my brain. So you know how they were like the nah or the try me. I made a t-shirt about like you messed with the right one today because you're ready to catch some hands. And I wore that in the street in the time where like, you know, everybody wanted to fight black people. So I was like, are you feeling froggy? Then let's leave. It's pretty much, it was just a way to have my anger thrown out into the world and to walk with it and to be at peace. Because a lot of times creatives, at least for myself, being able to create something and get it out is peaceful. Like I might go through hell in a handbasket trying to get it out and done. But like once it is out and finished, I'm a much lighter person.
Amazing. I mean, I feel that way right now about Black Fae Day. I'm stressing super hard about making it. I really am.
I have done 2 shoots already. I understand.
You know,
Oh wow.
We've been in darkness for so long that now that the light has shone, I don't know. I just don't know.
All the black magic is coming.
Let's see. What about you, Delta?
What is fashion? Fashion is basically civvy cosplay. Like you're dressing up for either your job, a party, like it's an occasion, and you're picking a costume for it. So regardless, like you're always playing dress up and always like cosplaying every day. So for me, that's what fashion is. Also, I feel like fashion should be more effortless, genderless, intersectional, because at the start, it's a flat piece of fabric that you make 3-dimensional. So if it can fit your arms and legs and go over your head and fit your arms, I feel like you should wear it no matter if it's called a skirt. I'm like, a skirt, a kilt, same thing. They assign genders to things that don't need gender. So for me, that's how I feel about fashion. The first time I put my fashion out there, well, my first encounter with fashion was making clothes for my dolls out of old socks and rags and other things I found around the house. So that's how I got started, tiny dress forms and such. And most of the time my fashion is received well, but I don't care that it is because I'm going to stunt regardless. And I think the thing that I'm most known for now with my fashion that I put out there on my mass dress series, because I got kind of bored with cosplaying like traditionally, that I was like, all right, what if I take this mask and turn it into like this Met Gala thing and do cos fashion? So that's where I'm at in my life right now.
I kind of live for that. I made a whole gala for that. So I am here for that. I'm here for that. And honestly, I wish people did just kind of focus on just the clothes and not the gender. I feel like we can get along a lot further in society if we just focused on that. But yeah, let's see. Who do we have next? Let's say Gina.
For me, fashion is I call it a walking canvas. You are just on display all the time. So that is a representation of you. For me, the first time to experience creating my own clothes, because I've always been 5'9", 5'10" since the age of 12, it's hard to find clothing just for myself. So I learned in home ec class, when they had home ec class, to make my own clothing. And from there, I just went gung-ho when it came to even altering clothing. But my first experience of making clothing, was a jumpsuit. And I'm dating myself. Back in the day, there was this leather bomber that had checkered arms on it. And I wanted to recreate that type of look in a jumpsuit. And so I bought a pattern and basically repeated that same checker pattern on the pockets and the arms and matched my bomber jacket at that time. So mostly when I see things out there, I'm normally thinking, how can I make it better, or how can I replicate that even in a better way? So that's my take on fashion.
All the time. I'm like, can I make that?
Mm-hmm.
Can I make that? save me some dollars. You know what I mean? Save me
Right.
some dollars. All right, Wendell.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with everyone else. Fashion basically is what I decide to put on in the morning. Whether it's this HBCU shirt, which I can buy, on our link tree, or a pair of sweatpants, a pair of pajama pants with my Hufflepuff badge on it and my Hufflepuff T-shirt, and walk out the house in my slippers and be like, okay, look, I'll be back in about 2 hours. I'm going to the grocery store, whatever. That's fashion to me. Whatever makes me comfortable. If it makes somebody uncomfortable, then they need to get over themselves. Because I like being relaxed. I don't like being uptight and suited and booted 24/7. Now, can I do it? Of course. That's who I am. But
Cool.
I'm going to be me. So, I'm going to dress however I feel, regardless of the situation, unless it actually calls for me to be, that extra clean and shock people a little bit. Now, as far as my first fashions, probably 16, 17, so about 30 plus years ago, because I made some things that, being a broke kid in Brooklyn, hey, there was times I couldn't afford to do certain things. So I had this extra sweatpants material, cut them up, made a pair of baseball pants. Had some other extra material, cut them up, made a baseball shirt. I wore that joint out and played in it. Got older, forgot about sewing because military and stuff, and then Gina's knucklehead husband said something about going to a doggone Comic-Con. And I'm like, okay, what the hell is a Comic-Con? He was like, dude, just put on a costume and come on. I'm like, okay. And Gina can attest because we both, you remember back in the beginning, we both said 2009.
Right.
It was the same Comic-Con. We made it to the door, and that pretty much changed our lives pretty much because we didn't leave that pathway for about 10 minutes almost.
Right. We actually saw a
And it
costume
was like,
contest, and that's what
yeah,
made me change.
yeah. And it was like, okay, yeah, I might want to do, a little bit more of this stuff. So I grabbed the wife's sewing machine at first and started using that. And I was like, nah, this ain't doing everything I needed to do. So I went and bought my own. And it's been like crazy since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for our host. What is fashion to you?
You. Yes. Miss Makeup Artist Extraordinaire.
Coming at me super hard. I just, okay. Fashion for me. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna echo everyone's initial sentiment. And in terms of fashion out there, honestly, it's because there was no fashion for me out there. So because there was no fashion for me out there, it was like, well, I still want to wear this cute skirt. I still want to, have those pairs of jeans with that special design on it, but it doesn't come in my size. So between that and also much like Wendell and Dina, I went to a con and that changed a lot of things for me. I've always been into like the theatrical, I'm a musical fan. So I've always been into like that side, but like seeing cosplay and costuming, that kind of just pushed me to the forefront. And now I present my fashion, I guess, because I don't have a line like you guys. I present my fashion for people to realize that you can do this. And there is no pattern because I'm not necessarily a replicating cosplayer or costumer. I take an idea and I see how far I can run with it. So, okay, now that we're done with me, flip it right on back around. Okay, here's the next question. Why Afrofuturism? And what struggles have you had in the fashion costuming communities being a Black person? Okay. Let's see. We'll start with Wendell this time.
I'm gonna start with the last question first. Struggle wise, at least on the costuming side, I haven't had too many problems because usually when people see the, I usually don't tell people what I'm doing. One and two, by the time they find out they seeing the end product, they're like, "Well, damn, okay." And then, um, the one time I actually did have some people come out their mouth sideways is when I was working on my Mandalorian costume, my second Mandalorian costume. And I was on the website, you know, collecting information so I can go ahead and buy my parts. And my username on that particular site was Smooth Windu, which is take on my name, and then also the character that I like from Star Wars. And my Mandalorian happens to be purple and silver. So there was a lot of, oh, you're just doing it blah 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 because of Mace Windu. I'm like, no. One, I like the color purple, and then two, shut up because this is my idea, not yours. And when you see the end product, you won't have anything to say. When they saw the end product, they were like, "Will you join us?" And I probably told them no.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a joiner. I do what I do for me, like I told you at the start of this. And that was the only time. After that, no other issues. Because again, I don't speak too much on what I do. I usually do it. Some people may see it in the process, but most don't see it until it's done and I put it on. And then they're like, "Oh shit, you look like Forrest Whitaker, or you look like Mr. Glass, or you, and most recent, you look like Veronica's Jangle." Damn. Okay, cool. I still just did it for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
So no problems.
Good.
I like making
Good.
people shut up.
Man. I mean, that's the key, right? That's the key.
Yeah. Shut up and clap. Give some flowers.
Mm-hmm. Been low.
The negative, yeah, low. Yeah. The negative stuff can go to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Go look in the mirror or something.
Oh, they can't do that. That's why they sling it at you. They can't do that.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. What about excuse me, Delta?
Oh, what were the questions again?
Look at Amon over here.
My Afrofuturism.
Just exuding gorgeous. Okay. What is Afro? Why Afrofuturism? And what are the struggles you've had being a Black person in the fashion industry?
Why Afrofuturism? Because I exist in the world today. That's why Afrofuturism. I am Afrofuturism. And as people of color, and especially Black people with a stolen history, it's my best way of connecting back and like learning about parts of myself that I would have otherwise not. And yeah, just like showing people that our history, our culture, where we came from, the fabrics being bright and colorful and just looking gorgeous in all our melanation is doable in a very high fashion, cool way. And as you can see, stunting upcycle jacket with all the prints, mud cloth. Like, I'm just like, why not? It's me. I am Afrofuturistic. I am Afrofuturism. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams in that sense. So I'm just putting myself out there as that. And any issues that I've came across with putting my work out there, not really. The most I've gotten were like in the beginning when I first started costuming was like, oh, I wouldn't do it like that. I know you're not me. And unless you're going to do it for me, keep your mouth shut, because this is my brain baby. This is my brainchild. And I didn't ask your opinion. So yeah, unless you're going to do it for me or have the skill set to do it, which I doubt, because a lot of people like to run their mouth and can't even pick up a thread a needle even. And yeah, so that's the most I've gotten. And now, like, I just put out my mass series and just do all these wild takes on cosplay, and there's nothing to say but you did that.
Very true. Every time you're what was it, the one, I believe it was not, was it Spawn? No, it was Venom. Was it Venom?
Yeah, the Venom was my first one. Yep.
The Venom one. I was like, no, she did not.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I was like, huh. And then it worked, and I was like, all right, who else can I do?
Yeah, that was, I saw that. I was like, close the door. Where cameras, someone, please. Someone, please. It was amazing. I was floored. I have this. I've seen that in person, guys. I've seen it in person. It's great. It's fantastic. Oh, wow. And okay, Kia.
Why Afrofuturism? So this is actually the first, I guess I would say, Afrofuturism cosplay I've ever done. But in terms of like the genre itself, for me, Black then, Black now, Black forever. Like African is the future. Because literally the world don't turn unless we breathe. Like everything that we do, the whole world sees it. So Africa forever. African is the future. We are the trendsetters. Like nothing gets mainstream unless we've touched it first. That's literally how it goes. So I absolutely love like Afrofuturism, everything. Delta, the way that you do Afrofuturism, Tony, same with you. Like I absolutely live for your designs, especially that mask. I too got to see that costume up close. I got to see the Tokyo Ghoul mask up close. And I got to see the Venom one up close, and I absolutely loved like everything that you did with that. So honestly, when I even
think your workout, I stay encouraging. I'm like, do the new stuff, try it. It's scary, but it's fun.
Every time I even think like Afrofuturism cosplay, I think Delta and Tony. Those are the two people that like come to mind as soon as I even get the idea. In terms of my own struggles or things that I've dealt with as a Black cosplayer, because I know that we get a lot of shit just for existing in the community. I haven't had too many negative experiences yet, but part of the reason for that is because if someone even comes to my page with like an off comment, I don't even respond to it. I just delete it. I don't even engage. I don't engage. You obviously never hear me post about it when it does happen because you don't deserve my energy. Talking to me is a privilege. So when you come into my space and you make comments and stuff like that, I delete it. I have you come back to my post wondering what your comment was because I said nothing about it. So when it does happen, I don't even give it like the time of day because it doesn't do anything for me. It just takes time that I really don't have. I don't have time to spend on people that have a problem with me being in this space because I'm gonna be in this space regardless. So I'm not gonna fight you about it. I'm gonna just be here and continue to be here. So when I see things like that, I delete the comments as they come. There's no time.
Snaps. Gina.
For me, Afrofuturism really didn't start until Black Panther movie came out, believe it or not. I didn't start doing commissions until 2018. So a lot of the work that came was Black Panther, but a lot of the work that I did inspired my bucket list of what I want to do in the future. So you'll see more, but right now, for myself, it'll be clothing. When it comes to costuming, that is definitely on the radar. As far as backlash or anything like that, I'm not a social media person. I don't like sharing my stuff until it's complete, only because in my mind, I don't like to have things half finished, and I don't like showing things half finished. So it's not until I complete something and I put something out that I put something out there. So a lot of comments I'll get, I'll try to respond to, but luckily I haven't had anything negative coming towards me. But like I said, I'm not on social media, and like everyone said, if it's there, I don't even respond to it. I move on. So that's my take.
Okay. Hey, Tony, I think you're the last one heading up the rear.
Heading up the rear.
Always, always.
I'm a butt guy. But Afrofuturism, to answer that question, I grew up Afrofuturism. My life was Star Trek and Star Wars and all of the things space related and all of the little nuances of Black people and the what I call the Pan African diaspora, the intergalactic Pan African.
Mm-hmm.
You got me. But the point is, yeah, like from Geordi LaForge to Guinan to Tuvok to Mace Windu to watching Power Rangers, like everything encompassed for me was Afrofuturism. So it was that moment like, oh my God, when I get to be an adult, I can dress like I live in the future. And so it was just time's a wasting, man. You ain't nothing. You're only getting older, so why not hone those skills and bring those dreams to life? Because it's better to live on this planet and be happy than to sit around and twiddle my thumbs worrying what the next person is thinking of me. In terms of any problem whatsoever, be it in terms of my fashion, because I wear very risque things all the time.
I love it.
And so I have very homophobic, heteronormative idiots that will come into my space. And what I do is I make examples out of people. Rather than delete your comment, I'm going to simply go, you don't belong here. If you wish to go further, we can hash this out and you're going to look stupid. And then I leave it on the wall for the world to see, to show you don't come in here.
Do y'all want to see a dead body?
Right. and a lot of times people end up deleting their own stuff because people are just like, oh my God, this is still going on. Yeah, I was like, no. The country will handle it themselves. Because I mean, the people I tend to associate with aren't on that pattern in life. Like they wish to be enlightened. They wish to do things to better themselves. And not live in boxes. Like my friends will go with me to go shopping at Rainbow for me. It's like, oh my God, I saw this thing. I think you would love it. And I was like, I don't know. And I'll walk into the store by myself and go pick something up. So it's very much as the group says, we ain't got time for it. So if you wish to be the dead body, come.
Yeah, come.
I will. Yeah. I mean, you guys inspire me a lot because unfortunately I've had so much backlash, but it's not even just in the sense of Afrofuturism, just my existence, because I am on social media, I am in the in the public space, because ultimately I want to rule the world. But side, that's a mission on the side for now. I've always experienced. So you guys are giving me like a lot of I don't know, energy here to move forward. I've also surprised maybe for some. I've actually never worn any type of African garment really. And the reason why that is, no, you're thinking it, but it didn't happen.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Not even in that place with the screen?
Not even. All
right, go on. Finish your story.
Okay.
Yeah, she didn't.
So
I remember that night. She didn't wear it.
You're right.
But well, my experience is that I had a dress and it was a yellow. I couldn't tell you like the name of the cloth or where it was from, but it was gifted to me by my Haitian and Cameroonian couple, and they were like, "Hey, you should wear this for the event that we're going to." They invited me along for the event, so I went there, and I had a change of clothes. I don't know why I had a change of clothes, but I did. I went there, and the first person who saw me said that I was too light to wear African garb, and that threw me all the way off, and I went and changed because I just did not want to offend anyone. I did not want to do anything because I was a guest there, and I was like, I don't want to impose anything. But yeah, that happened, and ever since that point I have not worn it because I don't want to offend anyone. So you guys telling me about your stories and how you wear your garb out is very inspiring for me. So I know a lot of you probably didn't know that, but that is something that has happened to me. So
Girl, you better wear that.
Yeah,
We come in
'cause-
all shades. Like, search all the
exactly.
people of like South Africa. They are your complexion or lighter. Like, don't
Yeah,
put that shit on.
and
you
and
know,
then
I
and then
don't
this
even
too.
know it. It was a little traumatizing for me. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie. It was just like, oh, okay. I'm okay.
Well, thank you for
but
being
then
So,
vulnerable,
but then
guys.
there's this too. There's this too. Those attacks that you've taken,
mhm.
they weren't attacking what you had on. They were basically attacking their own insecurities.
Mhm.
Damn, that came right on time. Bam, bam. They were attacking their own insecurities. Anyway,
That was your
because you got,
message.
I've seen, I've seen a lot of what you were referring to, and they weren't attacking what you had on. They were
Mhm.
attacking what they thought you should be, which is none of their damn business.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I definitely still do it. I'm here, y'all.
exactly, I know.
But I
So
do experience quite a lot of flack. So
yeah, we got to get you in an African outfit of some sort sometime soon,
Soon.
that's
within
the
this
new
next year
mission.
or
That
two.
is the new
You know
mission.
she's so
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Ah,
somehow, some way.
okay. And I don't know. I think are we winding down? No. Okay.
No, we got time.
Okay. 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 So next, a little lighter in the questionnaire situation. One, two-parter again. Favorite fashion-based movie, and what is your next collection? Let's start with Gina.
Mm. Um, Wendell already beat me to it. But Jingle Jangle, I love the I don't know what era it was, but the old fashioned dresses with African fabric. Um, I would love to do a mix of different African prints as one big dress. Not sure how I'm going to do it yet, but that's on my radar. And also, I want to do a female version of Geronicus because I do leather work, and so I want to create my own leather vest, basically work vest, so I can use it when I'm doing costume work, but also as a costume. So that's my latest thing. And what was that was the first question. What was the other question? I'm sorry.
Oh, you answered both of them.
Oh, okay.
You did good. You did good.
My bad.
All right. Wendell.
I'm gonna say favorite fashion movie, Devil Wears Prada.
It was a
I don't
good
know
movie.
why I'm in love with that movie, but I am. Every time it comes on, I'll watch the damn thing. I think I actually own a copy of it as well. I don't know why, but it just hits me, and I sit there like, damn, it's going off. But yeah, that would be my movie. As far as far as future projects, I'm still on this Asian kick, so I'm actually still working on one, maybe two more costumes related to this Asian journey I'm on. Matter of fact, some of the fabric is right here. Because that's going to become Pai Mei from White Lotus Clan. So yeah, once I get past that, I don't know, because I've been going in like spurts. I went from Harley Quinn this time last year into Hamilton. Did like six costumes from that, and then I went into something else and did more costumes. Yeah, so I don't know. Somebody's gonna
You'll have
show, yeah, somebody's
you'll
gonna
have
show me something. I'm gonna be like,
costumes later. It'll be
yeah,
fine. It'll be
yeah.
fine. It'll be 15 in another couple of months. It'll be like I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm already at 10 this year. I think.
We believe you.
Mm-mm.
All right, Kia.
Favorite fashion movie. I have a very soft spot for Tu Wong Fu. Thank you for everything, Judy Newmar. I loved Patrick Swayze's costumes in that movie, and they really give me an old-timey, like early 90s New York City, Madison Avenue kind of a vibe. And so I would kind of like to reimagine myself and like the outfits from like that movie and even the outfits from Breakfast at Tiffany's, just like really chic, elevated thing. So I don't know when I will get around to that. I recently bought a ton of patterns from Vogue, including a couple of patterns from the same design house that made dresses for Princess Diana. So I plan to tackle those sometime this year. And then as far as like my next collection, I'm working on a costume, which is this one right here. I don't know if you guys can see, which is like this corset top. And then there's also like a neck corset here. And this is actually going to be for Dread Queen Persephone from Lore Olympus. So I will hopefully be done with this maybe this weekend. Then to like maybe shoot it next week along with like my Black Fayday stuff.
Okay. Speaking of Lore Olympus, Tony, I need you to participate in the Lore Olympus wonderfulness. Okay. I need you to. I have it in my mind. The vision is there. I'm gonna just link it to you in the M'Baku way, and you're just gonna do it. Okay. Like I want to see it.
Tony and I actually have a collaboration that we have to get started on for Hera and Zeus, but more of like but if like Zeus actually loved Hera. You know,
okay. He's not a D-bag.
Right.
But you gotta I guess you gotta let me know what your Lore Olympus inspiration is.
Hades, 100%.
I knew it.
I mean, Tony, whenever you're ready.
All right. I mean,
I won't come into your face. That sounds wrong, but I will do it. Like, just don't I need it to happen, please.
All right. Now that you've agreed to do the makeup, I will gladly add Hades. That is our costume. And Kia, we got to go shopping to get the fabric for our costume.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. See, we're setting motions and plans. I love this.
Well, I just got two sneaks, I guess, of mine. I might as well just go now. I have a ridiculous jacket that is the changing.
You did not.
So
you did. Oh, yes.
I have plenty of that if you need it.
The Pan-African tribal color block. So the whole jacket will be gold, and then when you reverse it, the center is black, one sleeve is green, and the other sleeve is red. And that's going to be a bomber jacket. I am secretly working on a passion project of what if first contact happened in Wakanda. That's all I'm going to give you in terms of things, I guess. That
no, that's cool. No, we got a lot. We got a lot. I mean.
I feel like you answered the questions.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You did well. You did. All of y'all are coming to the gala, please. I need to see more fashion. I need it. Delta.
Questions again. I was all up in everybody's business.
Okay, so the question is, what is your favorite fashion movie?
Okay.
And what is your next collection?
Got it. I don't have a favorite fashion movie, but my favorite film designer. She stomps on everything that she touches. We all know who she is, Miss Ruth E. Carter. Hello. She can do no wrong. So whatever she has designed, sometimes I look for that. I'm like, I'm like, most of the time, I know I'm going to be disappointed about a movie, but I stay for the costumes. So yeah, a lot. That's what I mostly watch movies for and shows now. I'm like, let me look at the costumes. Show sucks, but that's not what I'm here for. And I am continuing to expand the Mash Dress series. I got some goodies in the work. Got some Disney villains on my list. I have some new anime characters on my list and a Star Wars person as well. So look out for that. They're going to be released gradually because she a lot. Also, Mr. Sugar Hill can't do nothing without me being on camera without showing his face, so he had to join us.
Very nice.
Too.
Very nice. I mean, I've always been a fan of the Hunger Games and Fifth Element. I always thought both of them were very just chef's kiss on fashion. Fifth Element first. It's one of my one of my all-time faves, I would have to say, to be honest, for so many reasons, but definitely for a fashion perspective, for sure.
Black men getting to wear skin-tight outfits, I'm there.
Right. I mean, hey.
Yeah. It was good times, guys. I don't think a 2 would work in this day and age, but you know, like it was good while we had it. It was good while we had it, y'all. Okay. So for the rest of the years, 2021, we've gotten past what was 2020. As horrible as that was for most of us, I'm sure. I know that the world's starting to kind of slowly open up. Do you have any gigs lined up? Anyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just completed a virtual filming type of musical with Manhattan School of Music. We're wrapping up and it'll be streaming soon. So that'll be fun. Doing theater again, because I am a theater kid first and costume designer first. And then I tried to deny my love of fashion and being in the fashion industry. And then I realized the reason why I hate fashion industry so much. And I was like, oh, I got to be the one to change it. So here I am.
Ding. Very much so. Okay, Kia.
I will be doing my first in-person burlesque show in Baltimore, Pride weekend. Headlining my very first show.
Okay, I need some links. I'm from B-more.
I'm very nervous and excited. I'm excited because I get to build 2 new costumes, but I am so nervous because I haven't performed live in a whole year.
Yeah.
So I'm scared and excited at the same time.
I'm okay.
Nice.
I like that. I'm getting some tickets, guys. That's what's happening. Make sure to put the links down there somewhere. Okay. YouTube out, so links to what's streaming and everything.
Yes, I'll post that. I'm also working on a Josephine Baker project with a friend, so look out for that. We love her.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually just like watching a documentary about Josephine Baker, like not too long. So that and Frida, that whole situation. So that was great. That's all. I'm excited for that. I'm always excited for Delta. Like it's just the supermodelness is for me. It's the supermodelness for me. Okay. Oh, okay. All right.
That's why she didn't move. She just sat there like, I know. See?
What about you?
Right? Did the screens freeze?
No. Gina, what about you?
Yes, she did.
Because of COVID, I haven't gone to Comic-Con, so I've been able to focus on my own costumes. Like I said, I have a bucket list of stuff I need to get to, so I've been working on those. But we have been invited, my husband and I, to King Kong, which is in Washington. That's in October, so we're going to be there. But as far as any other projects, it's just, like I said, focusing on me, doing my costumes, things I had in mind. Because once 2018 and I was doing commissions, I couldn't do my thing. So just learning new tools and stuff is what my goals are right now.
I understand that commission. I can't do it either. I tried. I tried real hard, but I don't got it. I don't got it in me. I, for everyone who does, you have a patience level in which I do not possess, and I applaud you very much so on that.
Well, I'm a graphic designer first, so I did that freelance work, so it came in handy when it comes to doing the commission work. So you have to have a lot of patience to say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Have you had horrible clients or all great clients?
Thank God everybody's been good. And I don't advertise. Normally people come to me from referrals, which is great, and the work is there, but I haven't had any, thank God, yet.
That's anyone else have bad clients or we've all had great experiences with clients?
My
all
clients
great clients, yeah. I think the worst I've had is I was very sick when I took on a client and didn't realize how sick I was until after I finished that halfway finished that client's stuff, and I was like, you know what? Here's your money back because I couldn't do it up to the best of my ability. So I gave her money back and let her keep what I gave her. Because that was one project I should not have taken on. But then again, I didn't realize I had like 3 or 4 ulcers and other things going on at the same time.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
You guys, I guess during COVID, I know I had issues. I always used to go to New York, take bus trips just to do fabric shopping. How are you coping, or I guess it's better now, but how did you cope with not being able to go physically in the store and actual choose fabric and feel it, or you just buy online and take your chances?
Let me tell y'all. I literally have fabric stocked up. I was ready.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I know the first few months I did the same thing. I had a lot of fabric, especially red and black, which is why I went on my Harley tear for about a month and a half. I think I made 2 or 3 kilts, 2 or 3 waistcoats, and a hat, all Harley Quinn based.
So with that said, you think COVID was a blessing because you were able to use what you had sitting there?
Yeah.
I was a fabric hoard, so it forced me to use the stuff I had in my house. Yes. But
see, when they started opening up slightly and letting people, I was in there every weekend. It's to the points where the girls in there know me by face, and that's with the mask on. And it's like, what are you working on now?
Damn. I think I'm the only person whose fabric stash got bigger during COVID because back in March of last year, I actually landed a partnership with Fabric Wholesale Direct.
Wow.
I sewed for their blog. I've been sewing for their blog for a year now. And so with each project, just more and more fabric comes into my apartment. So I have more fabric than I know what to do with right now. I have in my closet a huge bag of scrap fabric by the yards and under my kitchen table as well. Because I tend to request more fabric than what I need because, I never know when I'm going to need extra, which has led to me being, it's a mess. Yeah, it's anxiety inducing because there's just fabric everywhere, and then I continue to request more for each project that comes along. So I have way too much fabric. I'm trying to figure out what to do with it.
Because that's a problem I want to have. That's a problem.
More than welcome.
Yeah, I want to have.
More than willing to ship this.
Can we do a fabric swap, like a whole fun thing where we bring fabric we don't know what to do with and trades these?
I would love to.
Like 2 years ago, when I had a panel at BlurredCon on cosplay sewing, I actually brought some of that stash and was just like, if you want to practice on fabrics that you maybe otherwise could not afford, please take from this table.
I'll come to you. Okay, I'll come to you. No worries. We'll talk after. Okay.
I'm going to put it
to
you like
problem
this.
I would like to have.
If you need
I live
fur,
in a wasteland, so there is no wonderful. To
If
me,
you
I
need
feel like I live
fur,
moist.
if you need fur, I've got
Yes.
four or actually no, I've got I think 6 things of fur, all different colors.
I love fur.
I've got
I love
six
and hate
different
fur.
colors of fur.
The aesthetic is great. The
I would message
aftermath
you.
is awful. I'm not a fan of the
Way too much
aftermath
black for
of
fur.
fur.
See, the thing is, so okay, the trick with fur is that you got to flip it onto the flat side, and you cut out your pattern with an X-Acto knife, so it only cuts the fabric and not the fur, so you don't get all those shards everywhere. You cut it with like a razor blade or an X-Acto knife on the other side, and not use scissors because that goes through the fur too.
Yep.
That's the trick for cutting fur.
Or you cheat like I do, and you keep vacuum cleaner hose right beside it, and as you cut, you vacuum. I swear to God, that's how I do it. And I get most of it until I shake it, and then a few fly all over the place. But it's better than glitter.
No, all of you
God, not
guys for
glitter.
like
I love glitter.
preparations and plans and
I
stuff. I
hate
just
glitter.
MacGyver stuff together and hope for the best. So like, like all the plans. But yes, extra fabric for sure. Yeah, I have Joann's. Okay, guys.
I would kill for
coverage. Okay, I only have Joann's. Like I
Well,
wish
you're not too far from Laurel, so you can hit the African store I go to. Yeah, we're about the same distance from it.
Okay, are we? Are we?
Yeah, because I'm in Upper Marlboro, so I'm about 45 minutes away from that store in particular. And if you come down Route 1, you'll hit it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I'll give you the address. The lady's cool. I'm in there so much lately. She actually put me on her WhatsApp, and she lets me know when she gets new fabric in that I may like.
So now you got the hookup, and she hollers.
Right, you got the connect.
Pretty much. I still pay regular price. I'm still paying regular price, but she's like, when I get stuff in that you're gonna like, or that I think you're gonna like, I'll message you. Like, okay, cool.
Okay. I'm sure. Right. Oh, I mean, I've got a lot of people to hit up after this panel because I got tickets to buy, things to stream, fabric to go pick up. There's a lot of, I don't know, everything else, and I'll let you guys decide about that. Me and African print, I'm not gonna take the lead. I'm gonna let y'all do it.
I think we should have everybody here make something, and then we bring all our creations together for Tranquil Ashes outfit.
Okay.
Everybody make something unique.
That's doing like you only an hour from me, so you can come on down.
Stop giving people ideas, Kia. Okay, stop it now.
You're only an hour away from me, so come on
down.
Man.
In New York, so that means when you come over in June,
right
there.
The plots. The plotting. Okay. All right, y'all.
Hello,
I'm wrapping up on all.
No, because we're gonna make it even better for you, because pretty much you're surrounded by New Yorkers and people from New Jersey. So,
right. If everybody makes
when you go see them three, we can come up with
have the whole outfit. We'll have the whole outfit.
Right.
I mean, this is a fashion pattern. You're forgetting that you got people that can make some.
You did it to yourself.
That's what my gal's for. I showcase it. I have showcased everybody else's talent. That's what I'm showcasing. That's what I do. But I'm wrapping up on everybody. I want everyone to tell me where we can find you, where we can find your work, your art, all of that. And any like tips you would give to anyone interested in starting fashion. And we'll start off with Delta.
All right. I can be found on Instagram as Delta_Major. Facebook, you can search Delta Major Designs. I should come up. Twitter, Delta_Major Lee, so LY at the end. And coming soon, I am working on my website so everyone can wear a Delta Major Designs and be major. And that'll be deltamajordesigns.com. And yes, as I said in my bio and in the flick and all over this panel, I am body and gender inclusive. If you like it, wear it. I am here for you. And I also do custom pieces, upcycles, and yeah, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
advice I'd give to someone looking to get in fashion: have fun with it, take risks. That's how a lot of trends and people like discover new ways of creating things. They'll take a risk and try something new. And yeah, if you like it, wear it.
Yes.
Wendell.
You can find me on IG and Facebook at Scorp King _ costuming or dot costuming, or IG is also Big Smoo, BIGSMU. Um, hmm. My tip to a new or someone who's looking to get into fashion: just do it. Just do it, and
Literally.
then and don't be afraid to make mistakes, because what may look like a mistake to you can turn out to be the most beautiful thing to someone else.
Right.
Because trust me, I make mistakes all the time. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, that's battle damage. Cool. Keep on moving. And then when other people see it, they're like, oh damn. They didn't know that I purposely did that or accidentally did that. They just look at
Right.
boom. Or it winds up being something that, okay, yeah, I might have cut something a little bit too short, so I added another piece in there to make it a little bit wider or a little bit longer. And it came out looking all right. And they're like, oh, I like that design. I'm like, yeah, I do too, because it wasn't supposed to start out that way.
Right.
I mismeasured, but they don't know that.
That's a fact. I understand
Yeah.
that. Like life as a cosplayer, trust me.
Pretty much. It's just like Yoda said, there is no try, only do.
Only do. Mm-hmm.
Well, I said that backwards, but so does he, so it doesn't matter.
Same sandwich. We got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Gina.
I just forgot the question. Dang it.
I'm sorry, sis.
Okay, well, you can catch me on Woman of Wonders 8 on Instagram and Twitter, and on Facebook it's just Woman of Wonders, and that's plural, Wonders. I do have a website, but it's mostly for my graphic design business. There is some costuming on there, but I'm in the works of creating just a site just for my fashion and costuming because it's needed. But my website right now is GinaJohn, GINAJOHN myportfolio.com, and that's my professional site. And as far as a tip, for me, I've learned all this on my own, and a lot of stuff that I learn right now are mostly through YouTube videos. So YouTube University is a great
YouTube is the GOAT.
to use, to do anything really, but YouTube is great to learn step by step. And like Wendell said, don't be afraid to mess up, because I create happy mistakes all the time. That's it.
All right, Kia.
I'll go share my tip first. So my tip for anyone that wants to get into fashion, if you already have the idea that you want to do it, you're already halfway there, because that's where it starts. Getting into fashion, or anything for that matter, regardless of what you want to explore, is always a leap of faith. I think you should take it. The world is your oyster. In terms of when you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Kia Sangria NY. And you can also find more of my costumes on the Fabric Wholesale Direct blog. You can scroll through a few of my costumes. Please click the links. I need to buy bread.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Yes.
We need her to get some bread, y'all. Okay. All the bread.
Yes.
And last but definitely not least, Tony.
My tip for you is in the fashion of Miss Frizzle: take chances, make mistakes, get messy. The first time you try it out the gate, you may not be great. The second time, you may not be great again. The third and 30th time, you may still be like, why am I doing this? Because there is a passion in you and you are feeding it. So feed that passion so that it can grow and thrive. And next thing you know, you'll have your own line. You could have your own line if that's what you want to do. Or you could be like us, sitting up here on a panel inspiring other people to take the chances to be who they wish to be.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Well, this has been a wonderful, wonderful panel. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for this panel. We're definitely going to have you back for sure. Understand that. That is definitely going to be something. But I'll stop from keeping you hostage all night so y'all can get back to doing y'all thing. But thank you so much for everybody, and we're out.
Well, I have one more thing to add, because since I'm VP of HBCU Con, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to plug next year's fashion show. Pretty much what's going to happen is right now we're going to be aligned with Bowie State University for next year's con. So the designers that wind up partnering up with us for the fashion show are actually going to go ahead and take a student under their lead, and the two of you are going to work out a set of designs. So that'll be the challenge for next year. Still have to work that out with. Yes,
I love that.
I'm still have to work that out with the school and the professors there, but we have some dynamic people that we know there, and good God, Miss Maggie Francois is fantastic. She's one of our points of contact there, and I told her about the idea and she loved it. So we're going to make this happen for next year, and hopefully we'll be live and be able to have all these fashions walk across the stage. So with that, good night, everybody. I'm going to get some ice cream.
No ice cream.
I've been good. I haven't had any. I've been good.
All right, thank you.
And one cookie.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.